So ever since the addition of The Sims 4 Cottage Living, I've been thinking a lot about what are my favorite and least favorite expansion packs for The Sims 4. Obviously, Seasons makes the top of the list. Honestly, Cottage Living is right up there with it. I am obsessed with that pack. I'm having so much fun with it. But I'm trying to think of what happens on the other end of the spectrum and what are the worst expansion packs in The Sims 4. Now, a lot of people would put Eco Lifestyle there. That's not how I feel. I have two that I'm trying to figure out which one, in my opinion, is worse, and that is Island Living and Snowy Escape. So in today's video, we are going to be going over what is worse, which one has more to give, more interesting gameplay, and honestly neither of them have that interesting of gameplay, but we're going to go over my ideas for which one is the worst expansion for The Sims 4. If at any point throughout this video you enjoy it for whatever reason, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also find a link to all my social media in the description down below, and let's just jump right into the video. So how I want to work this out is we're going to go over some stuff about Island Living, some stuff about Snowy Escape, and then compare the two. So since Island Living came out first, we'll talk about that one because you always talk about the older one first. So The Sims 4 Island Living came out in June, I believe, of 2019. Wow, that feels like an eternity ago. That's crazy. That was a pre-pandemic pack, so that's a fun one. This pack had an entire island world of Sulani. That's one of the most beautiful worlds we've ever gotten in The Sims 4. It is gorgeous, and I will give it that. It is one of the most beautiful worlds. It has a lot of interactableness because you can go swimming in the majority of the world because it is an island world. The island homes are filled with very interesting families with cute backstories, and I really do enjoy that part of the pack. However, for an expansion pack, I don't think that a good world and nice families really mean much. I think at this point in The Sims 4's lifespan, that should just be a given. The Create a Sim and Build Buy for this pack really work for The Sims 4 Island Living. However, a lot of it's not very versatile. It all has a very island feel, which makes sense for this pack. But once again, it needs to kind of be able to be meshed in with like real, regular gameplay. If you're just walking around in Willow Creek in some of the outfits from Sulani, you're going to be like, it doesn't really make sense, but like, go off, queen, you know, just like do your thing. I don't know. But honestly, the clothes are cute. They make a lot of sense for an island world, and all of the furniture, really beautiful. Like build items, beautiful. A couple other things that we got with this pack were the off-the-grid functionality that came in a base game update right before, and this pack added a lot of ways that you can make that work, and honestly playing off-the-grid in The Sims 4 is very fun. We also got the addition of odd jobs, where you can just do random things for Sims to earn more of an income, which is a fun way to do that. You can go into your phone, get an odd job, and then just end up having to go do some random task, earn some money, and for like Rags to Riches gameplay, or if you don't want to have a full-time career in the game, this works really well. We did get a new woohoo location in this, which is the waterfall woohoo, which is one of the most beautiful ones in the entire game, so I will give this pack that. Island Living came with an entire conservationist career where you can go around and try and make the island more clean and more beautiful. This is a fun career because you have the option of a rabbit hole or actually going and doing stuff yourself. It's a good time, but honestly, I've only played it the one time when I first got the pack, so it's not something you're going to revisit a ton, in my opinion. And honestly, mermaids in The Sims 4 Island Living are so disappointing. They are very shallow, and they don't have any of the same things that you'd expect because of how we got vampires. Vampires and spellcasters are very in-depth. They're very interesting. They have a lot to them, and mermaids are just like, okay, yeah, now you have a tail and you need to be wet a lot so that you don't die. Like, okay, it's fine. Like, it's not awful, but it's just not good. The aspiration in this pack is extremely shallow. It's literally like, oh, go sunbathe. Oh, go eat this thing. And it's like, really? I really want lifetime wishes and things like that from The Sims 2 or The Sims 3 back, where it's like something you're working towards for your whole life, not just little shallow things that are kind of just guiding you through a new expansion pack. But that's an issue with The Sims 4 as a whole, not just with this pack. And some things that were very notable that were missing from The Sims 3 Island Paradise are things like houseboats or the actual ability to go diving and be able to see underwater. In The Sims 4, all you do is kind of go diving. Your Sim's gone. They go into like a rabbit hole underwater. They can take some pictures, but these are just like pre-chosen pictures from The Sims. You don't actually get to like take screenshots yourself. You don't actually get to see what's going on under there, and that's rather disappointing. So those are kind of some of the big things in The Sims 4 Island Living. Now in The Sims 4 Snowy Escape, we have pretty much the same kind of gameplay. We have a beautiful world, we have fun, interesting characters that were created, and one thing that Snowy Escape has is all of the game changer builds. This was the first time that the Sims team got game changers to build the houses and to build all the different lots. So they are very beautiful, they're very well done. So that is one thing that this has over a lot of packs of the past, because we have had some weird ones, like in Realm of Magic, A Staircase to Nowhere. So it's like, okay, the houses are great, the families are fun, And something that was added right before this pack came out to The Sims 4 is sentiments. So there are new sentiments between some of the families, adding a little bit of lore. So that's really fun. So when you start up a new save file, there is a little bit of relationships going on. One guy's like married, but like his child age sweetheart is like living in the same town, and he like still kind of has feelings for her. And so it's very interesting. And there are like some rivalries. Good times. Love the lore. But as I said with Island Living, I don't think that the lore and the world and the family should be the main selling point of a pack. Once again, the cast and build buy work really well. This one actually wins in my eyes for the build buy because it's a lot more versatile. A lot of the furniture can be used in just about any household. There is one dining table that's like the little square one that has a lot of really fun swatches. I use that a ton. So there are some items in Snowy Escape that definitely beat the ones in Island Living, because if you're putting the ones in Island Living in anything other than like an island home, they feel kind of out of place. Snowy Escape is way more versatile, 100%. However, a lot of the stuff is very simple, so it doesn't have like that quirky Sims feeling like items from maybe like Nifty Knitting have. We did get 2 new woohoo locations. We got the Hot Springs woohoo and the Cave woohoo if you're on the mountain excursion, so that's fun. We all know that I love woohoo locations in The Sims 4. Why is that a thing about me? I don't know. In addition to the sentiments that became a base game update, we also got lifestyles in this pack. Now this is just for Snowy Escape, which kind of sucks. I wish that lifestyles were a thing that everybody got, but if your sim does enough of the same thing, they're going to unlock lifestyles, meaning that they'll get more powerful moodlets and enjoy things more. So let's say your sim spends a lot of time alone, they don't date, they don't flirt, they don't do any of that. They may unlock the single and loving it lifestyle, where they won't want to watch like romantic TV or read romantic books or like get flirty or any of that kind of stuff. And that's actually like a fun part of the game. I just wish that it was part of the base game and not just this pack, but it is 1 point for this pack. So it is important to know that lifestyles exist. There are, I believe, 16 lifestyles for your sims to unlock and to go through, and that's a lot of fun. Now, the main draw of The Sims 4 Snowy Escape is, of course, the snow. Any Sims player who doesn't have seasons can now experience snow in the game with The Sims 4 Snowy Escape. But the main draw is really the mountain activities that your Sims can participate in, and this is skiing, snowboarding, and sledding. And to be honest, all of these are exceptionally boring for me. There's also rock climbing, or like going on the mountain excursion. So skiing and sledding and snowboarding, it is very hard to say, so that's a lot of S's. So all of those are very boring because you're essentially just watching the same animations over and over. And when you're skiing and snowboarding, your Sims do get better at it. Obviously, they're going to be a little bit clumsy with their situations when they first start, but as they get higher in the skill, they're going to get better. But like watching the same animations over and over is so boring. And even when I first got my hands on the pack, I don't think I ever got past like level 3 or 4 in either of those skills, because I was like, I can't watch these animations anymore. I'm bored. Because I always play with single person households to start off, especially when a new pack comes out, and I was just like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. So I completely gave up on all of that, and I'm just so disappointed that those skills are so shallow and just boring. But obviously, you can't really do much else with those skills, so I don't know how else they could have improved that. The other thing you can do on the mountain is the mountain excursion, and this is where you'd want the rock climbing skill. Now, the one thing that bugs me about the rock climbing skill is that it was a big draw of this pack. However, rock climbing was already a thing in The Sims 4 fitness stuff. They reused all of the animations from the rock climbing wall that we got with that pack, so they didn't even put in that much effort to make it interesting, and the rock climbing excursion is exceptionally easy. Exceptionally easy. So skiing, sledding, snowboarding, and the mountain excursion are all things that I have not used since the pack came out, and it came out less than a year ago. I've already completely stopped using it. I don't visit Mount Komorebi, and it's kind of disappointing. So now let's go into which one's better and the issues with both. So the very first issue I always see with these two packs is that honestly the biggest draw for them is the worlds, it's not the gameplay. And in my opinion, expansion packs need to be able to expand upon the game even if you're living in a basic house in Willow Creek. Like you're living in the Crick Cabana lot in a new save file in Willow Creek, those packs should have some impact on your Sim's life at all times. That's something you're not getting with Snowy Escape or with Island Living. These packs really only work in the confines of their worlds, which is so disappointing, and that's why they are so low on my list. Even with a pack like Eco Lifestyle that's pretty controversial, a lot of people didn't like it, a lot of people love it. I fall into the loving it category. Things like the neighborhood action plans and the eco footprint will affect your Sims no matter where they live. This is something that is going to impact you in other parts of the game. Things like Discover University, any Sim from any world can go to university and have that be part of their game but live in their own world. Get together, you can have clubs anywhere. Get famous, you can get famous living anywhere. So these things expand upon the gameplay no matter where you live. These two packs doesn't expand upon anything. Personally, I think that a world should be a bonus to an expansion pack, not be the expansion pack, and not be so heavy as the expansion pack. Like it's the only thing that we get in these packs that's actually worthwhile is the worlds. Now let's go into which one's actually worse. I find this really hard to figure out because in my gameplay since Snowy Escape came out, I've lived in Sulani. I've played more in Sulani just because I think it's a more beautiful world. Obviously the snowy world is beautiful, but you can see snow in any world if you have the Sims 4 season, so it's not something that really draws me in. However, the whole like beautiful island landscape is one of the most beautiful things we've ever gotten in the game, so Island Living definitely is, in my opinion, the better expansion pack than Snowy Escape, and Snowy Escape reaches the bottom of my list. The reason why Snowy Escape is the worst expansion pack for The Sims 4 is because all of the gameplay is very, very shallow. The world is beautiful, the people are beautiful, all of that, but all of the animations for the things that you do, really, really boring, really, really repetitive. Not something a lot of players, in my opinion, are going to go back to often. And having something so repetitive makes it just so uninteresting to play repeatedly. So I'm not going to go and have my sim just ski down a slope 100 times and then just do that for a whole day or for a whole week in game. That's really, really boring. The career we got with Snowy Escape, the salary person career, it is pretty boring. It's essentially just like a business career, but in Mount Komorebi. You can play it anywhere, obviously, but like it's just like the business career, but just with longer hours. And that's like, okay, I get why they did that, but like boring. At least the Conservationist career, you can see its impacts on the world, and I find that kind of interesting. It's really fun to be able to play with mermaids in Island Living, even if they are pretty shallow. There's also dolphins and those like ski-doos, those little boat things that you can ride, and all of that kind of stuff. And the build by is more fun to do on the stilts in Island Living. So overall, both of these packs are pretty boring for gameplay, in my opinion, but you can definitely go ahead and play both of them and enjoy them for a little while. But I think that Island Living kind of has stood the test of time longer, and people talked about it for way longer, and I feel like people care about Island Living more now than they even care about Snowy Escape. And Island Living came out 2 years ago, and Snowy Escape, it's been 6 months. So it's like, I'm really disappointed that in 2020 that was a pack that we got, and the fact that the Sims team can get away with stuff like that is like, oh, ow, hurts my heart. But that's just how I feel. I think that Snowy Escape is the worst pack for The Sims 4, other than the worst expansion pack, because there are some pretty bad game packs and stuff packs, like what even is luxury party stuff? That's a whole nother story. But I really want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think is the worst expansion pack for The Sims 4? Let me know in those comments. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I really hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.